My name is Jerry Hester. I am Director of Editorial Partnerships and also of our local accountability reporting program at the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism at CUNY, which you can't even get through without losing your breath. But for those of us who work there at CUNY J School, it's really my honor here not only to represent the school, but to introduce to you Kennedy and Marina. First up is Kennedy, who is the recipient of the Dennis Duggan Award. I'll tell you a little bit about Kennedy momentarily, but I just want to say that it's particularly humbling to give this award in honor of Dennis, who was incredibly generous to me when I was a young reporter, even younger than Marina and Kennedy. So Kennedy specializes in local accountability reporting and data journalism at the J School. She's interested in covering how elected officials' decisions and policies impact the lives of their constituents. Some of her recent work includes a New York City News Service story about Brooklyn residents fighting to preserve their beloved community garden, and also pieces for our Mott Haven Herald, which range from a feature on a photographer whose work showcases Black New Yorkers to a look at the backlash against a shelter for migrants. Kennedy is a Houston native, which we won't hold against her. Previously worked for the Chronicle's website, chron.com, as a Metro reporter covering education and politics. She's also worked as a freelance politics reporter at Texas Signal, and she is set to intern this summer at the Kansas City Star. Yeah, it's very exciting. So Kennedy, come on up.
A Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist once said, "The way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon them." That journalist was Ida B. Wells, whose investigative reporting in 1892, called Southern Horrors, Lynch Law in all of its phases, highlighted the vicious lynchings against Black people in the South. And it was at a time where a lot of people either weren't covering what was going on, or they were covering it in a way that didn't actually depict the vicious executions. And so her journalism inspired me to be a journalist and stand before y'all today. And kind of like what Jerry said, I'm just a girl from the South. I'm a product of parents who one is an immigrant from Central America and the other one is from rural East Texas and grew up in red dirt with boots and horses. And their little girl made it to New York. So I'm just really thankful and thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Marina also specializes in local accountability reporting and data journalism. Her goal is to use data-driven reporting to examine power and class in New York City with a focus on underrepresented communities. Her work has explored the opioid crisis, climate justice, and politics in the South Bronx. She's earned clips already in City Limits and the Mott Haven Herald. Before entering journalism, Marina worked in higher education at Hunter College and City College. And this Bronx native is set to intern this summer at my old stomping grounds at the nonprofit news site, The City. So welcome, Marina.
Thank you, everyone, for having me here today. It's a great honor to be in the presence of such amazing journalists and to be recognized by the Silurian Press Club. I'd like to thank the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism for their support. I'd like to thank Jerry Hester, my faculty advisor, for his mentorship. And when I arrived at Newmark, I wasn't sure that journalism was the right path for me. I hadn't studied it before. I've never published a story. But I knew that I was deeply angry about the state of the world and my city. And that changed when I had the chance to report for the Mott Haven Herald and Hunts Point Express in the Bronx, which are two student-empowered newsrooms in the South Bronx. And it became apparent to me that this is a career that I needed to pursue, and this is the type of writing that I needed to do. I'm proudly born and raised in the Bronx, and it means so much to tell stories that challenge the stereotypes that people in the Bronx experience, the ones that I've encountered my entire life. So it's important that I write stories that don't portray the Bronx as a borough of despair, but stories that share the resilience and the community of the neighborhoods that I cover. I also want to thank my professor, Eileen Markey, and my editor, Joe Hirsch. They're not here, but they've shaped my writing, not just my writing, but the way that I think about journalism and its purpose. And what I value the most about that is their insistence that the work that we do, the writing that we do, should not just serve the community, but it should reflect the struggles, amplify the voices of the community, and fight for its needs. So thank you again to the Silurian Club for this recognition.